A word to the wise. Don't cut your own hair.
Unknown transforming robot. It's probably shit, but if I just been a quid, it really won't matter.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ray here, back for another Transformers transformation review thingy. So I relented. I done something today that I've always wanted to do, and it wasn't getting a haircut. I did get my haircut, but I cut it myself. Let's not talk about it, please. Today I watched Beast Wars 2, the movie. It's for the longest time it's been in the back of my mind, just waiting for the right moment, strongly suspecting that it would be kind of TV, and it is. And but today I felt prepared because months I've been kind of building myself up towards watching it, and today I did it. I watched it in 6 parts, and it is awful. It's so bad. It's what's it called? Leo Convoy's assault on the evil moon of destruction from one of those really long-winded, unnecessary. Well, I say unnecessary. That's me being a bit racist. It's a Japanese series. It's a Japanese movie. Why should it be culturally relevant? Why should the artistic style of it, why should the aesthetic of it be relevant to someone in this part of the world? Why should it make as much sense? It probably doesn't. It certainly doesn't to this viewer anyway. The storyline is it's anthropomorphic to the extreme, which for me just doesn't work. It has to be to a certain extent. There has to be a certain. I say anthropomorphic. You know what I mean. Technopomorphic. That sounds rude, doesn't it? It sounds rude. Yeah, it didn't work. The storyline. This storyline. Sorry. I can't think of another word for it. The plot. The storyline was ridiculous, and but it was the dialogue. Oh Christ! You this awful character of the character of Leo Convoy was awful anyway, and Leo Junior, who's Prowl from the Magnaboss as we know him, just awful. There was a line. There was some line where where it's one of the I don't know the name of the faction. It's one of the Destrons, one of the Decepticons. It's either Max B or Dirge Gun. You know the guys that I mean. Where he says to Leo Convoy, "Hey, how did they let you out? Why aren't you back sucking on your mama's tits?" Oh my God! I nearly had to be worked with. Oh, it was fucking awful. Sideways. Now, this guy occupies a very unique space in Transformersdom. Now, I should have written down exactly what he is, but I'll think on my feet here. He's a double headmaster. He's a right. Okay, bear with me here. Someone can do it much more eloquently than I can. I could have taken a little bit of time and sat down with a pen and paper, the old styley, and thought, right, what's the best way? What's the most concise way that I can define this Transformer? Double headmaster, first of all, that's got to be in there. Combining Minicon. See, I'm losing myself here. Right, I'll tell you, and then you can tell me. So he's got 2 headmasters, and the headmasters combine. But he's neither Autobot or Decepticon. He's like a bounty hunter, he's like a spy. He's something like that. But he's a double combining headmaster. No. Anyway, something like that. I wish I could be a bit more concise. It's something kind of funny and funky and a bit hilarious. Now, I'll give you a little bit of BG in this guy. Not that he's doing harm, of course. Sideways is a conscientious, ninja-like warrior who races to battle disguised as a sports bike. He exceeds speeds of 250. Sports bike? Mysterious and silent, he reveals, yes, little about himself except a fierce drive to confront the enemy and quickly return to Cybertron. On Earth, he undergoes a personality change that gives him both a good and a bad side. Based on Minicon influence. He's two Minicons. Sorry, two Minicons. This split personality makes him highly unpredictable. It's hard to predict which half of his split personality will win in the end, the good side or the evil side. Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing going on here. Nice, these archetypes thing going on. Anything that I want to look at there? You see, I have 2 pages open in front of me. I have the wiki and the TF archive. The TF archive I just go for. Normally it gives you the on card bio, that kind of thing. And then TF Wiki is trivia, you know, and the ilk and its ilk. Second, it was released. This was the one I'm showing you was released in the Armada line. Okay, that's enough of that. Now, this is the guy I'm talking about. But the other ones I want to show you are. I'm just going to show you them. Of course, these are just side Y. Whatever the plural of sideways is. Sideways oozes? I don't know. Cybertron Sideways, repainted and deratbat. This guy is fantastic. He's from Planet X. And this guy's from the movie trilogy. I like to call him Shiteways. He's some car. You know, some car. There you go. And but this is the piece of resistance that I'm talking about. Now I have to give you an additional little bit of trivia about this guy. We see if I can just find it up here somewhere. It's good. This is what I thought was quite cool. He's a consummate con artist. This is it. This is the tagline. He's a cross universal agent of Unicron hailing from Planet X. Oh! I want that in a t-shirt. I am a cross-universal agent of Unicron and I hail from the Planet X. That sounds like the start of a really good song. I am a cross-universal agent of Unicron hailing from the Planet X. Yes, that is pretty cool. And he can take on any form he wants. Any form this fucker wants. And he chooses this little bike. And why not? You know, bikes are fine. Bikes are fine. Yes, bikes are fine. He says, trying to convince himself. Now you can see he's got a little driver, bless him. Look at his little driver. I'll take him off presently. Come off, little driver. This guy is called Rook Crosswise. Crosswise Rook. One of the others. One of those two. Something like that. I'll come back to him shortly. Double Headmaster. I'll continue to redefine this until I find something like nice and concise. Double Headmaster Combiner. Double Headmaster Combiner. And that tends to suggest that the robot, the main body combines with something, combines with the headmasters, but I don't know. So that is a thing. That is a nice little thing. There we go. There's an RID sideways as well, and he's yellow, but he comes after that. Cut my own hair. This is Rook and Crosswise. Now you see, I just extracted him from the seat there. This is Minicon 1, who is also 2 Minicons. Have a little look at his face. There needs to be a little bit of detail picked out there. You need to get your paints out for this guy. You really do. You need to get your paints out just to take the bad look off him, because there is potential here, but it isn't realized. It is not realized. It's a very standard little thing. You wouldn't be entirely convinced that there are 2 Minicons here, apart from the fact that he has 4 arms sticking out of his back, but that's okay. Transformers Prime, I watched that this morning as well. I watched the latest episode. It might have been called Crossfire. It had Arachnid in it. It was fantastic. I went from the Sublime, they were like ridiculous. I went to the Beast Wars movie after that. My God. But an Arachnid toy. Oh, I love what is happening with Prime. I love Prime. I have a few minor complaints, but it's all good. eBay. Hold on a second. eBay. That's the Lego display cabinet sorted. Nice. Yes, Lego. So, Rook and Crosswise. Standard Minicon. I say standard Minicon. He's not standard at all because he's a combiner. This Minicon is a combiner of 2 Minicons. Look at them. Here they go. Rook and Crosswise. This is Rook. Not Hook, as some sites may have you think. His name is Rook. He's the funniest looking thing. He really is. They both look remarkably ridiculous. They're not at all in proportion. Oh god, they do look rather silly. They're a little bottom heavy. They're a little leg heavy, and they've got these tiny little heads. But they are remarkable looking minicons. You don't get this kind of thing often in the Transformers universe. Rook, Crosswise. Now, of course, the funky thing about Sideways, the latter day Sideways, not the movie one, the Shiteways one, it doesn't have that whole Autobot Decepticon incongruity. Is that the right word? I like it anyway. I don't know what it means. So it could be Autobot, it could be Decepticon, depending on the day of the week, which side of the bed he got out of. And how do we know that? Look at this guy. This is Sideways main body. Big purple cycle. There's so many things to like about this guy. One of the things that I like especially is the fact that that unique quality to him that has these two minicons that are, you know, these double combiners. Double headmaster, just that is reason enough to have this guy. But also, one of the other things that I like especially about this guy is the fact that this plastic is just really solid. And I think it's something we're going to be proper Transformers collectors. I say proper Transformers collectors. I don't know what a proper Transformer collector is. Collectors of older Transformers, in a way, not just the newer stuff, are increasingly interested in the quality of the plastic, because we are aware that plastic nowadays isn't quite as, it's not quite as tough, it's not quite as durable, it's not quite as waxy, it's not quite as thick as it ever was. And I think that has made that has accounted for a lot of the changes that we see in Transformers. It accounts for the fact that a lot of what we see in the movie continuities seem to be quite spindly. There's an awful lot of space inside them, and that's the case for the new Prime toys. There's an awful lot of space inside them. We are less inclined to get big solid bits of plastic like this, big solid bits of plastic like this. This guy is an odd little head. Now this head is just, it's nothing to behold, and indeed you can make him look utterly ridiculous because these handlebars look very, very silly. He is an odd looking bot, I grant you that. He has very, very unremarkable feet, as you can see. Doesn't make for him standing up very well. The back is fine. I don't count this as cable. There are a couple of wheels. Wheels are fine. His arms are disappointing because there's no bending here. Whenever you look at it, it looks like there should be points where it's going to be bendy or something's going to bend. But he can't bend at the wrist or at the elbow or anything like that. And his head will not turn. Will it? Oh no, it doesn't want to. And his head looks really thin, but that's fine, because I'll tell you why. You can take these guys. You can affect something a bit like a Target Master. I don't know. Don't even like to say it properly. Now you take this guy. So I'm going to call that the weapon mode. It's not a weapon mode. No books, no Transformers canon will ever say it's a weapon mode. But, you know, it could be some kind of double ion blaster. It may as well be. Whenever you attach him to that minicom port and move him forward, this, of course, fires out. So you can attach Rook and Crosswise to both of those. Now, if that was not enough, the very cool thing about this, you put the head down, you look in here. This is where the sigil should be. This is where the faction sigil should be. So he should be either Autobot or Decepticon. Now, Headmaster. This is where the Headmaster rule comes in. You see, you've got to make heads out of this guy. And indeed, they are successful to a point. Tiny little bit of movement here. You lift up that little section, it reveals just about some little red eyes. Now you look at this guy. So this is the head of the Headmaster. This is going to reveal a faction sigil, and you think he's going to be Decepticon. And indeed, he should be Decepticon, but this guy is Autobot. You see the way that happens there like that? Now, I'll just do that again. You put him in here, and the head and the arms, as they go inside the body, reveal an Autobot symbol. Now what you do with this, basically, you just kind of put it anyway. This is damage limitation with this guy's head. It is damage limitation. The best way I think to describe it is to make it look a bit like a pair of antlers. Now the reason that this guy is Autobot at the minute and not Decepticon is because when he originally came out, this is the second issue. When he originally came out, this darker one, the bad guy, the evil one, was going to be Decepticon. But when he was on screen in Armada, of course, you know, as is their wont, they didn't do the research properly. They decided to change it for whatever reason. Quite possibly they just overlooked the fact that this guy originally was the Decepticon. But at the minute, he's revealing the Autobot. So we take him out. Like that, there we go. And this guy, this is crosswise then, and of course he is obviously meant to be, he was originally designed to be the Decepticon, to make him Decepticon. No, he was originally designed to be Autobot, of course, because he's the lighter color. And we just pull up this little section again, and that reveals his eyes. But of course now, in line with the animated series, they changed it so that he was the Decepticon, as you can see right here like that. And he is absolutely fantastic. And a really unique Transformer, excuse me. A unique Transformer. Two headmasters, which combine to form a giant Minicon, but also by themselves serve as single Minicon entities. I cannot think of any other Transformer that does that. That's why this guy is so interesting. That's why you should have this guy in your collection. I do want to get the RID version of him, who's yellow. The Minicons are a little different in color. Hopefully I can pick him up at Auto Assembly this year. Take your paints to these Minicons. Absolutely take your paints to these Minicons. Like I say, you can attach them here and give them some kind of weapon mode. I'm never convinced about attaching Minicons in a way as power-ups, because they don't always work. They rarely work. There you go. That's as good as they get, really, isn't it? But this guy is a fascinating bot, interesting personality, named Bio, interesting bot, interesting plastic, nice plastic, and just an all-round excellent addition to your Transformers collection. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ray with Armada Sideways, wishing you a very good night.
Now that's what I call a